What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Noah Gray here, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Josh's channel and check out showmefootball.com for more.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Josh Fan of showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com, covering your Kansas City Chiefs. And yes, once again for this video, I have on the shades, I have on the disco lights. I'm bringing the vibes because the Kansas City Chiefs are going to their third straight Super Bowl after defeating the Buffalo Bills 32-29 in the AFC Championship. Patrick Mahomes now officially 4-0 versus Josh Allen in the playoffs. No quarterback has ever beaten another quarterback 4 times in the playoffs. The Kansas City Chiefs are heading to their 4th Super Bowl in 6 years. Never been done before. And the Kansas City Chiefs are one step away from a three-peat, which, again, has never been done before. But the Kansas City Chiefs got more fantastic news after beating the Buffalo Bills in the AFC Championship. Wanted to talk about that a little bit. So first bit of news, the Kansas City Chiefs have opened up as 1.5-point favorites in the Super Bowl against the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, essentially, a 1.5-point favorite means that Vegas thinks very highly of both of these teams, and this is a very close matchup. Basically, what they're saying is that if this game was played in Philadelphia, the Eagles would be favored. And that's maybe not something you would have said, during the regular season, but the Eagles are playing really good football right now. But Chiefs are favored, and I do really like the Chiefs in this matchup, and I actually think they drew the team that they match up better against between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders. And that's the other piece of good news, is that I think this is a really good matchup for the Chiefs. If you're a Chiefs fan, you wanted to root for the Eagles in this game, and I'll tell you exactly why. Because the Philadelphia Eagles, I feel like it's really the way to beat them is pretty simple. I think if you stop Saquon Barkley, that's how you win this game. I trust the offense to do enough. I don't think this Eagles defense is still very good. But it's not quite the vaunted pass rush that they saw a couple years ago in the Super Bowl. It's not that type of pass rush, and that's good news also for the Kansas City Chiefs offensive line. Also, Jalen Hurts, between Jalen Hurts and Jaden Daniels, I think, Jalen Hurts is the worst quarterback. He does not throw for a lot of yards. I believe his career high passing yards in a playoff game was that Chiefs Super Bowl a couple years ago. But I definitely think Jalen Hurts is a quarterback that Steve Spagnuolo and this team can game plan for very easily, as opposed to Jaden Daniels. I was very afraid of Jaden Daniels being able to outduel Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I think Jaden Daniels is that good. And even though the Commanders have the much worse defense, and that's what a lot of people will point out, I'll say it again, the Kansas City Chiefs offense doesn't really take advantage of bad defenses. Even in this game, the Chiefs left a lot of points out on the field, despite the fact that Buffalo's defense was very beat up. No Benford, no Spector, no Taylor Rapp. And the Kansas City Chiefs offensively were not good in the third quarter. They turned it over in the red zone. They turned it over in a huge spot when they could have gone up 14-3. So I think the Kansas City Chiefs drew the better matchup between the two teams when it came to Philadelphia Eagles or Washington Commanders. Also, something I wanted to talk about, Xavier Worthy is turning up at the right time. He looks like a legit wide receiver 1 right now, and that's great for the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs. They needed someone to emerge out of that group. They needed to unleash someone, whether it was Hollywood, whether it was D-Hop, whether it was Xavier Worthy. And Xavier Worthy is starting to look like that guy. He's running really good routes. He's making contested catches. Say what you want, whether that play should have been ruled or catch or not in this AFC Championship game. But the fact that Worthy fought for that ball enough and was able to get his hands on it on the ground and did enough to where they couldn't overturn it, you have to applaud the effort right there. That was a great play by Xavier Worthy. It was a great catch. Also, I think you look at this defensive performance, and I'll talk about a few players in particular, but I think Steve Spagnuolo is going to cook something up for the Philadelphia Eagles. This was not the Chiefs' best game defensively, but, I'm not all that shocked. A lot of people said that the Kansas City Chiefs would win this game with their defense. I was indifferent. I thought that, the Kansas City Chiefs defense just needed to do enough to give their offense a chance, but Josh Allen and the Bills were always going to get theirs. Josh Allen is an extremely difficult quarterback to game plan for defensively, and you wouldn't say the Chiefs defense had a great game. There were too many busted coverages. Brian Cook, this is a burn the tape game for him. Najee Johnson as well got stiff armed to hell by Brian Cook, but also Trent McDuffie had one of his worst games of the season, I thought. Some of it is on Spags for putting him in bad matchups, but the good news is that Trent McDuffie, I don't think, is going to have 2 bad games in a row. And I think this is going to be a much better game for him against the Philadelphia Eagles. I think he's going to have a huge bounce back game for the Kansas City Chiefs. I would not bet on that guy to have 2 bad games in a row. Now, the other bit of good news that I think you can take away from this game is that the Kansas City Chiefs lost the turnover battle and won. And I don't know if people understand how incredible that is, that they still found a way. But I think that's another thing. I think that's an anomaly for the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think they're going to lose the turnover battle 2 games in a row in the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes had a very uncharacteristic fumble in the red zone, and I just don't see that happening 2 times in a row, 2 games in a row. And so if you're the Philadelphia Eagles, that concerns you a little bit. I think the Chiefs are going to come into this game feeling really good about themselves. I thought overall the Chiefs had a really good offensive performance, and so that is just going to bode really well for them. And they scored over 30 in this game. They showed they're capable of that. That's something we have been asking all season long. Can the Chiefs do that? Because, with how good their defense has been for the most part, you're basically never going to lose if the offense can score 30. And I look for Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and company to empty the bag against the Philadelphia Eagles. And I just said this in my post-game show that I did live. I've kind of given up on D-Hop having a big game in the playoffs because I thought if he was capable of that, we would have seen it in either of the last 2 games. But, some might say, hey, look out for D-Hop. He hasn't had that huge game yet. Maybe this is the one where he does it. And we'll certainly see. I'm not going to hold my breath, but I think the Chiefs have enough weapons on offense now that they feel really good about that. You're going to see this train continue to roll. Juju Smith-Schuster was great. Xavier Worthy was great. Kelsey is still capable of having that 5-catch, 6-catch for 100 yards and a touchdown type of game. The vibes are great right now for the Kansas City Chiefs. Again, that's why I got the shades on. That's why I got the disco lights going. We're undefeated in the postseason when I got the disco lights. The sunglasses have recently been added. But, Chiefs also came out of this game healthy, and that is something that they struggled with throughout most of the year, but they came out healthy once again. I think the only time where there was even a slight bit of concern was when Justin Reed had to come out for a play. It looked like he got shaken up, but the Chiefs are going to be fully healthy going into the Super Bowl, and that is extremely important at this point in the year. So that's all I got for this video, guys, but definitely just wanted to put some stuff out there, some of my thoughts, some of the good news after the Kansas City Chiefs advance to Super Bowl 59. But all that being said, I want to hear from you guys down in the comments below what your thoughts are on some of the news that I brought to the table and what your feelings are heading into the Super Bowl. Initial thoughts on the matchup with the Eagles. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can find this. Make sure you check out my work on showmefootball.com, arrowheadaddict.com for more. And last but not least, follow me on Twitter at showmefb. That's all I got for this one, guys. I will see you guys in the next one. And as always, go Chiefs!